This Friday's question is about the interpretation of the wording "a document accompanying the device", which is mentioned both in Article 13, Clause 3 and in Article 16, Clause 3 of the MDR. The question is, I've found multiple interpretations of this wording, with some considering this to mean the device is IFU, while others considering a shipping document to be sufficient. If the IFU is the true meaning of these words, then this would tie the manufacturer's hands and essentially force them to produce custom products for each importer. What are your thoughts on this? So, Article 13 and Article 16 require importers to add their name and address either on the device itself or on the packaging or, as we said, in a document accompanying the device. This is certainly a very vague description, but it doesn't specifically mention the instruction for use. So we believe the intent is not to specifically point to that document. The EU Commission's Blue Guide provides some guidance on this topic and again recommends the importer's name and address to be on the product, or where not possible, because of the size of the physical characteristic of the product, or because the packaging would need to be opened, on the packaging or and on the accompanying documentation. The same concept is also expressed in the EU Decision 768/2008 on the marketing of product in the European Union. These documents again mandates name and address of importer to be on the device itself, unless size and nature of the product does not allow it. So the clear expectation is to have the information on the device itself, with the other option available, but only available when it's not possible to put name and address on the device itself. The Blue Guide also clarifies what is the intent of that by pointing out that, and I quote, "the indication of the manufacturers and for imported products also the importer's name and address on the product is a basic traceability requirement. In case of need, it allows market surveillance authority to quickly get in contact with the economic operator." So what can we understand from that? We can conclude that the requirements to provide the importer's details is basically equated to the requirements to provide manufacturer's name and address. So, as manufacturer traceability must be guaranteed up to the end user, the same should apply to the importer. What does it mean practically? It means that the importer details can be provided in many different ways. For example, on the label, for example, on the IFU, or even on some stickers, some add-on stickers to be added on label or IFU, or on an additional leaflet that is provided with the device, as long as this information travels with the device to the end user. So anything on the device, anything on the primary packaging, anything on the secondary packaging would be okay. And also anything that is within the boundary of the secondary packaging. Coming to the specific case of the question, so of the details being printed on shipping document, it is our opinion that in most cases this would not fulfill the requirement. Given the complexity of most supply chain, it's very unlikely that this information would reach the last link of the chain, meaning, for example, the hospital, and even less likely that it would reach the final user of the device. The same consideration would apply to a label that is applied to a shipping container. However, this does not tie a manufacturer to custom product for each importer. As I mentioned earlier, there are options that meet the requirements and at the same time allows a certain degrees of flexibility, and those are, for example, the use of stickers to be added to the external labels or to the IFU. One last comment on this matter, and it's a note of caution for manufacturer. It's very important that you keep an eye on how the UDAMED structure is being developed and implemented, since it's not yet completely clear whether it will require a single importer to be linked to certain product or certain product group. So if this is the case, the flexibility of using different importers for different markets will be completely annihilated. I hope this response was useful, and please feel free to get in touch with us if you have any other question. Thank you.